Caitlin, tell me what it means when someone says they want multiple streams of income. Tell the people. Why do the people need multiple streams of income?
COVID says it all. What's the difference between having an LLC for your business and being trademarked?
For me, I'm trying to get multiple streams of income because I'm trying to retire early. 62, can't do it.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Stream Chasers podcast. My name is Kaylin Nelson.
Candace Williams.
And we're happy to have another episode for you. We're starting to get into that whole consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're going to get into a great topic. But before we get into the topic or introduce to you what that topic is, you know how we like to touch base. So Candace, what's been going on these last 2 weeks?
I'm tired. I'm so tired. Y'all know I got a baby, so I'm tired. Let me see. Last 2 weeks. So for those of you who don't know, I run a wedding stationery business called Pretty Prince, etc. So I've had the shop on maternity leave for the last couple of weeks because I have a baby. So I finally took the shop off maternity leave, and things are happening. Probably faster than I want the things to happen, but I'm a get in the groove and I'm fine. I got like 7 projects on deck that I do out this weekend, so here we are. How about you?
So from the last time we chatted, I was at home on like an alternate schedule with the whole COVID going on, but since then I am back at work full time. So it does dip into my personal time of the things that I'd rather be doing, which is business, of course, and podcasts and, you know, the whole thing.
Yep.
So still trying to grind it out, tired as ever, but going to deliver and do what I got to do. And
make it happen.
Anything I got to do, got to keep pushing the content for the stream chasers out there.
Of course.
That's what it's about.
That is what it is.
So today, like I said, we have a great episode today. And from the very beginning, when we sat down and put together like a high level list of ideas of topics, this is one of those topics that I felt like I cannot wait to do this episode. I'm sure everybody's going to be able to relate. Everybody's going to have an opinion. This might be one of those episodes where it might ruffle some feathers. If you hear it, you might be thinking, dang, are they talking about me? Or I can relate to it. It's going to be one of the two. And what that is support. What is support? And I'm talking about business support. You know, we see the memes all the time. You know, are they really my friends?
Yes.
You know, if they can't even share my posts, they not trying to seek out my service, you know, the whole nine. So that's what we're going to get into today. And then we're going to dive a little bit into some other business things that kind of relate to that topic. But before we really introduce our guest to you, Candace, have you ever experienced anything with the whole support?
So, you know, because my business is based around weddings, I don't have to get into it with folks a lot about that because, I mean, if you're not getting married, we ain't got no business, right? So I've seen people get married, right? My friends get married and not, you know, buy invitations from me, or I do the brooms. They don't buy the brooms. I don't really hold it personal, I think, because weddings are such a... everybody has like a personal taste, so it's not something that everybody needs. So I don't look at it that way, but I've seen other people go to, like, I have read so many posts on Facebook of small business owners reading their friends and family down, and I'll be like, whoo, somebody is mad. You know what I mean? Like, people be pissed, and I'll be like, well, and I have, to be honest, varying opinions on it. I think it really depends on what the support is that you're looking for. You know what I mean? Because I don't think the support is always spending $1, right? Support comes in many different fashions and facets. So that's my experience with it, but my experience is more like an outside looking in. And I know your business was like B2B, so.
Yeah. So I have the Pivotal Video business, which is like Candace said, that's B2B. But then we also have Go Stretch.
Oh, right.
And that's business to consumer, or it could be B2B. But to me, like, I'm like you in a way. I look at support in different ways. Because one thing, before I start any business, I identify with who my target audience is, who my target customer is.
Okay.
So, for example, with the Pivotal Video business, I knew that I'm going to strictly businesses, primarily businesses who have marketing budgets.
Okay.
Now, my friend down the street might want a video but they might not have a marketing budget, but they just saying, "Hey, I want something for the Instagram.
Right.
Can you look out for me?" And we spoke on this in a previous episode where my prices might not fit in your budget. So I already understood the fact that you may not support me.
Right.
That way financially. But then it does go back to what you said.
Yeah.
Say, you know somebody that has a company with employees. Are you willing to at least put that out there to say, well, hey, you're looking for some digital marketing, some video marketing? Well, hey, I do know a company, it's on you to reach out to them, but I will give you their card.
Right.
To me, that's support.
Okay.
Granted, will I ever know if you did it or not? I don't know. But to me, that's what support is, what I was looking for in terms of that area.
Okay.
Now, if it's like B2C, I will just say, like, if it comes to stretching and stuff, that's fairly a new concept.
It is.
In this area, at least. I can probably count on one hand how many companies there truly are in our area that's really doing that. So if I do see somebody like, oh, I'm going to get stretched, and they go to somebody else, it's like, well, we do stretching. We're right here.
I wear the go stretch hat. Okay.
So I would kind of question that, like, dang.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and this is just a personality thing. I won't hold it against you because I'm that type of person. Like, well, F it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to fool with me, don't try to hop on later.
Exactly.
And that's my approach to things.
I agree. Like when I think back on it, I can't say that folks who had weddings and gotten invitations elsewhere I ain't look at, but I also know that my invitations are pricey. So back to like your B2B thing, if you don't have a budget for it, it probably wasn't for you anyway. So I'm not really holding it against you. It's not that I don't notice, like we said, it's not that we don't notice because we notice, but I'm just not about to get on Facebook and read you down. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I'm definitely not about to do that.
Yeah, it's too much.
I'll just talk about it with my wife later at night.
Exactly. And that's what marriage is for.
Yeah. So that's our take on it. But like I said, today we have a great guest today. Somebody who can really relate to this, who's going to be able to give his feedback on things. And this person, he's been an entrepreneur for several years. He didn't take the traditional route of going to business school, learning, the accounting, the marketing, the entrepreneurship, the fancy internships, all that type of stuff. He did it self-made from the ground up, the way he wanted to do it.
Okay.
And like I said, he experienced a lot of different challenges, I guess you could say, from having a child very early, fresh out of high school.
True.
Like I said, didn't go to college. Dealing with things, trying to juggle the same way me and you do, Candace, trying to juggle the full time, trying to pursue the real thing, the business that you really want to do, that passion. And so like I said, he has a lot of experience, and I'd like to introduce Mike Robb.
The man himself, the man, the myth, the legend.
Come on, I like it.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me. This is lovely.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
I am Passion Auto Care. I am Mike Robb. To give y'all a little bit about myself, I started in 2015.
Okay.
With zero support.
Zero support.
When I say zero, I mean zero support.
Okay.
And being a popular guy straight out of high school, I thought the support would come easy. I just knew I was going to run with support. Everybody was going to repost me. Everybody was going to jump on my bandwagon. None of that happened.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
When you say zero support, like what you mean when you say zero support?
I mean zero support. So I had no family support.
Okay.
I didn't have a budget from, how to get the business started. So I wanted some financial support from my mother.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, her son is starting a business. She's, let me help him out. I got none of that.
Okay.
Well, let me take it back. I'm not going to say zero support. My wife been super supportive day one. So that was my main support system.
Okay.
My backbone for starting Passion Auto Care.
Okay.
But as far as family, zero.
Okay.
Not an uncle, not a sister, brother, nobody. And literally had to navigate and find my way to get this business off the ground. And by doing so, I had to, I was working my full-time job, so I had to use my money that I was household money to get this business off the ground. And I pulled so much money out of the house on this vision, and it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Because as the wife, I'm like, woo, and it ain't work.
Oh, she was at that point.
I bet she
like,
was.
baby, you pulling a ton of money out. When is this thing going to pop off?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So Mike, let's take a step back and get more into your journey.
Okay.
Tell us like a little bit like what made you want to become an entrepreneur? Because like I said, you necessarily didn't just wake up and like, after high school, like I'm going to business school, wherever that may be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like what did that journey look like for you? What made you want to pursue business?
Not being cocky with this, I always found myself being a boss or a leader of some sort. Whether it came through working or, sports, anything, I always looked at myself as a leader, as a somebody who would set the tone.
Okay.
So never really thought of being a business owner. But when I knew working a 9-to-5 wasn't going to be for me.
Right.
For 30 years, get my retirement, my pension. I knew that wasn't for me at a young age. So working a 9-to-5 was not going to be for me at all. I watched my mother and father put endless years in their careers, and there's nothing wrong with that model. It just was never for me. Punching the clock, just waking up, taking a lunch break when they tell you to take a lunch break.
That's my pet peeve.
That was that 30 minutes or an hour, whatever the job gives you, you got to beat back. I just never wanted to go that route with my life.
Okay.
And so I didn't know what was for me, honestly, until I turned 30.
Okay.
And then I said, something's got to change because this can't be it. And I was with this company for 13 years. Okay. And I knew like this can't be it. You know what I mean? And they had my retirement age at 65 because I started so early. So I'm like working to 65 to do what after? You know what I mean? Yeah. What's enjoying life after 65? Like,
is your health ain't the same.
Health ain't the same. So that means I gave this job 45 years to do what after I'm retired, after slaving.
Because you had 30 more left. You had 35 more left. And it's like woo!
So I just knew that route was not for me. And then it kind of really clicked when I turned 30. Okay. And, when I spoke to my mom, she gave me advice, don't quit your job until you know. And it's like, when do you know? You know what I mean? When do you know it's time to take that leap of faith? When do you know it's time to pursue your dreams, your vision? And for me, it was 2021, pandemic. Okay. During the pandemic. It was time to pursue my dream full time and living my purpose of running my own business. Becoming a boss, and it's a lot that goes with that. I think a lot of people think entrepreneurship is easy because it looks easy from Instagram. It looks it's a lot that goes on. The lies, absolutely, the lies. People look into pictures and in a lifestyle that is so much more behind the scenes than what they see. You know what I mean? So again, I would never punch another clock again unless I had to. Right.
Because you have a family.
I have a family of 4 kids and a wife. So if I had to provide, I'm back on somebody's clock. Right. But for me, it's entrepreneur all the way.
Okay. Got you. So when you talk about support, like you said, you got zero support. And correct me if I'm wrong, but at some point, did somebody have to provide, I would think somebody had to provide you some support for you to be able to get to where you were, all during that timeline, to be able to walk away from the job 13 years.
When I say my wife, that is my security system.
Your wife held it down.
Held it down. That is my Bank of America, my Navy Fed, personal business. Like, you know what I mean? My wife literally held it down.
So how long? Because so you said you walked away from your job in the pandemic, which we will come back to.
Absolutely.
But how long had you been doing Passion Auto Care before you walked away?
2015. I
So
started
about
May 23rd, 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was still working, punching the clock for 40 hours, actually 60 hours. Because I was never the typical 40-hour worker. I needed that overtime to survive, honestly.
Okay.
With having 4 kids, you know what I mean? So that 40 hours wasn't working for me.
Okay.
Because the hourly rate didn't match up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And me only having a high school diploma, I couldn't advance in the business how I wanted to.
Okay.
So there was college kids coming in with zero knowledge on the business, becoming my boss.
Yeah.
Because of that paper.
Because they got that paper.
They got that paper, you know what I mean? And I literally had a cap at my job that I couldn't get over because I didn't have that piece of paper.
Yeah.
So I had to work your 60, 70 hours to see some real money. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So coming up, you know, again, in the detail mobile, you know, in industry, were there people that you looked up to?
Absolutely.
Where you would want some support.
Absolutely.
You know, if they're not going to support you financially, you
Absolutely.
know, I can always pour a seed into you and, you know, provide you some knowledge. Yep, I actually reached out to a detailer for some support on how to really get this ball rolling. And the only support and advice he can give me was just keep doing. You'll figure it out.
Wow. Shady.
I mean, I could not. And there was a couple people I pulled up on literally begging without begging.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're seeing me pull up every week. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm getting a service from you, but I'm trying to get some knowledge from you on the business, how to be successful with it.
Right.
And they didn't offer anything.
Like a mentorship, if you
wanted a big brother. You know what I mean? Like a mentorship, big brother. Got zero support from the detail community. You know what I mean? Zero.
You know, and that's a very controversial topic, right? About
absolutely.
How to. So mentorship in itself is not controversial because people say, "Oh yeah, get you a mentor," but nobody wants to mentor. Right?
Especially in the same industry.
In the same industry, everybody's like, because everybody's scared that you can't eat. Like, if I feed you, then I'm not gonna be able to eat.
Absolutely.
I disagree with that. I disagree with it all day.
It's enough customers out here in any industry.
Any industry, there's a million people out here, right? So with my industry, it's almost like the bread on the shelf when you're in the grocery store.
Right.
There's Wonder Bread. There's your Giant. You know what I mean? But everybody's grabbing that bread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a million cars out here. Why can't I have a little piece of the pie?
Right.
Why do you feel like giving me knowledge or giving me the edge is going to steal that from me?
Right.
And that's what I couldn't understand with the business that I'm in. Like, why can't we share that knowledge? And if you ask anybody that's reached out to me, I've given them 100% knowledge of what I know.
And has it taken away from you?
Zero. It hasn't took $1 away from you. It hasn't took a client away from me. And it enlightens me because I'm like, I'm helping them pursue their dreams.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's free.
Right.
You know, I'm not charging a service. I'm giving you the game for free. It's up to you to stick with it and find your own way. But, you know, coming up with this business, I got zero. So zero's family support.
Okay. So we have zero.
Wife backed me 100%. Let's stamp that right now.
Okay. Wife is at 100%.
Wife is at 100.
Zero family support.
Zero family
zero
support.
Mentorship.
Zero mentorship.
Okay.
Zero friend support.
Okay.
The repost didn't happen. You know, the repost and all of that's free marketing though, right?
Right.
That's free promotion without supporting me, right?
Right.
None of that happened.
Because in 2015, social media was a thing. So they could have simply reposted.
Just a simple repost. Hey, my bro Mike Robb, he has a business, you know, a detail business. Let's get him out there.
Yeah. And that does wonders. People don't realize how key just a simple reshare
Yeah.
is.
And it's free. That's the mind-boggling thing of it all. It's free to repost somebody, right? It's free to repost Stream Chasers or Go Stretch.
Yeah.
Or Passion Auto. It's free. It's a free service that it's on social media.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't do it for whatever reason. I don't know, because you see the memes and you know, and it still doesn't happen. You know, they'll double tap on it. They'll like it.
Yeah.
But you know, support your friends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll double tap that. You know, I ain't about to repost Fashion Auto again. For what?
But look,
he looks successful to me.
True.
Nah, so I was about to say something, but I gotta hit on that because that's something. But how I really feel is people will support when they think you're at a certain level beneath them. However, once, and this is just my opinion, I could be totally wrong, but once they feel you're gaining some leverage or you gaining some traction and somehow you starting to get some clients.
True.
They're like,
he don't need me.
I don't need to share that post.
Yeah. Why he already good?
He eating.
What I need to share?
I don't need to help leverage that person or that business.
Yeah.
True.
And that's just my own personal thought.
And you're not too far off with that, my buddy.
And you know, I never thought about that. Like that never crossed my mind. But like as I replay my experiences, that's a true thing. And what's funny is it doesn't, like, let's take Stream Chasers, for example, because we know Stream Chasers. Stream Chasers is a podcast in its infancy. We own like 5-6 episodes at this point, right? The podcast itself could use leverage. It could use people sharing. It could use, but because Kaylin and I, as co-hosts, individually, our households are eating, as you would say, it might turn some people off from sharing it. Like, they individually, they
good. What
Yeah.
I need to repost Stream Chasers for? They good.
True.
Or the other thing, and this is always one of my things coming up, and I have another friend where we used to always say this, going back to what we talked about in episode 1, when you get into like the whole pyramid schemes and stuff. So, you know, years and years ago, that was the business for everybody. Absolutely. Everybody seemed like they was in some type of pyramid scheme type business.
Right.
So when you did come out there with a legit business, that negative, that negative mindset is like, oh, it ain't no real business. That's just passion out, or that's a hobby.
Yeah.
And to tap into that, so going back a little bit about me wanting to become, so I started with this company called 5 Links.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
We know them. And zero support with that because everybody looked at it as a pyramid scheme.
And
right?
the first thing they tell you is reach out to everybody
you know.
Reach out to your family, all your close friends.
Yeah.
And that's setup itself, right? Because your family, your friends, like, no, Mike, this is a pyramid scheme. I'm not about to. But for me, I just wanted to become my own boss, right?
Yeah. And that's what the pitch was.
That's what the pitch. You know the pitch. But they kind of wind you up, you know what I mean? and it's selling a lot of dreams with those type businesses, right? But for me, I just looked at, hey, I want to become my own boss. I want to grow in this company. The ultimate goal is to be a millionaire, but I want to be successful enough where my family is good.
Right.
And, you know, when I did 5 Links, nobody was hopping on board. Nobody was coming to my meetings. I needed that support.
Yeah, and those particular types of, we talked about that on episode 1, multi-level marketing type businesses. Especially if there's not like something with 5 Links where it's mostly service based as opposed to like a product, like a Herbalife or a Mary Kay. You definitely need people to show up because if people ain't showing up, you ain't nowhere.
Yeah, it ain't no point.
You wasting money, you wasting time, and you just with a suit on
for no reason. Yes, and I think people assume, especially folks who may have had like relative popularity in high school or college or whatever, right? You have a big network, so your social media, you got thousands of friends and connects or whatever, so you could do one of those businesses and think you gonna pop up, and they do not work that way.
They don't work how you want them to work.
Yeah, that is interesting. And anyway, So now I'm gonna take us on so we went down, we got your wife supporting you.
Yeah, wife supporting me.
You got no mentorship.
No mentorship.
You got no family.
No family support.
No friends.
No friend support. Not even a close friend support.
Not even close friend support. And I'm having a hard time with this. My heart is like really like people not using your detailing service, people not reposting it. Do you think it's because they don't believe in the dream? They don't believe in the hustle? What do you What is it?
I honestly think it was this just a hustle, right?
Okay.
This not a vision of his. This not a dream of his. Even though we know Mike keeps a clean car.
Yeah.
You know, and he could probably do something serious with this.
Okay.
But this just a hustle. You know what I mean? This just another one of his hustles.
Okay.
You know, his get rich schemes.
Okay. Got it.
Because he tried 5 links, that didn't work. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
It's just another one of his but this was truly a passion of mine.
So, and I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit. Do you have support now from your family, from your friends, etc.? 6 years in.
0 from family still, 6 years in. And I mean 0. 0 from family.
Okay.
And I want to keep emphasizing that. Because for a lot of people it would honestly crush them. You know, not having that close family support. Friends, yes.
Friends, yes. Okay.
They reposted me. Oh, there was one friend. I don't know if I can shout him out, but he.
You can if you want.
Yeah. DZ Jamal Grantham. He definitely always reposted. I still got his picture to the day, and I'm glad because I delete a lot of pictures. Yeah. But he captured the moment when he first supported me. Okay. And the date on it. Okay. You know what I mean? And it really takes me back every time I see that picture. Okay. Like, I came from a bucket, water hose, you know what I mean?
Yes, you
some shorts, sweat all on, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I came from the ground up, literally. Yeah. That picture reminds me. And at some point I'm gonna get it in my house on a portrait. Okay. Yep. So Jamal, he has a business too, great clothing line. Okay. He's very supportive, and not only because he's not a car wash guy, right? Okay. So for him, it's like, Mike, I don't clean my car. Yeah. So I want to support you, but that's just not my thing.
That's not his thing.
Let me bring you my car just to say I supported you, right? Yes. But he does the reposting, right?
Yes.
Which is one of the best supports ever. Because
and he has a good following.
He has a great following. Okay. So I'm getting 2 or 3 people that I never met, never would have met without him. Yes. So that repost helps bridge the gap. Yeah. You know what I mean? It helps tap into a different audience that I never would have seen these people before. Yeah. You know what I mean? So those strangers now become friends. Yeah. Man. Those become my biggest supporters. Yeah. And I tap into with a lot of strangers that for me feel like family now. Yeah. I got strangers from 6 years ago that I still do that, provide a service for them.
So I think people like generally have to understand that, as not even just as a business owner, but as a consumer, I am more likely to use a service or use a product that someone I know has recommended to me. That's why the repost, the reshare is so important. Absolutely. It's not just taking up space. It's because you are a close family friend. It's like in dating, when somebody recommends somebody to you, like I'm more likely to go out with him and like him because they know me. Yeah. They know, like it comes recommended. They're not going to set me up. It's not some stranger where I got to go read the Yelp reviews and all, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to set me up. So that's why the repost reshare is so invaluable. Like, it really does mean something.
It does. But so something Casey hit on her episode when it comes to the whole resharing, she said she goes the opposite way. She actually prefers that my friends don't share me.
Really?
Because she doesn't want you saying like, oh, this is my friend that be in the club every weekend. So if she reposting this business,
it's not.
It must not be good quality, or there's some type of
backfire.
Downgrade. So she was like, "Don't even repost my stuff."
Yeah, I think it depends on the type of business you have. So we'll say this to you, stream chasers: you really have to, you have to take this episode and take the things that we're saying with a grain of salt and figure out how it works for you and your business. I think Casey has a business where her average service price is $3,000. So everybody ain't gonna be able to get up on Casey, right?
Everybody can't get Casey, sir.
Mike Rob. Right.
I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted her service when she wasn't on 3,000. Yeah. But she still was high. I couldn't get with Casey.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But my Rob, everybody got a car, right? Everybody got a car, and so everybody, so a share is a share is a share, that kind of deal. So you really have to like take into consideration, who's not sharing, should they really be sharing, that kind of thing. And so without that support, right? Because we're 6 years in, or
6 years in.
How did you make it 6 years in without that support? Is the real question.
Honestly, I really believe in me. Okay. And from punching the clock to giving a company 15 years, you know what I mean? I'm a great worker, right?
Right.
But I really believed in me and my vision. And I said, it's nothing that, the family support almost crushed me.
Okay.
But there's nothing that's going to stop this train. And you really got to talk. You got to talk to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to be your number one fan.
Yep.
When you think you should have 100 fans and you don't, you really got to be your number one fan with growing a business.
Wow. And consistency is key.
Consistency is key.
Can't give up.
Can't give up. And then from, doing the business and working is a tough battle, especially from
you gonna tell me.
From my my industry, because if I can't get to a customer when they want the service, now it looks tacky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they looking for somebody else.
Looking for somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's a million detailers, right?
Yeah.
There's a million car washes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so now consistency is the key, really, when you out on your own.
Yeah.
Because now you want to keep them people. And you're going to lose a few.
Okay.
I lost a few, you know what I mean? But it could be miscommunication. It could be my scheduling. It could be a couple, I know I provide a great service, right?
Right.
Am I flawless every time? No. I might miss. I might miss a window or, you know what I mean? Not intentionally, but it happens, right?
But things happen.
But when you're consistent and then you're you can fix those errors, it goes a long way with this business. Yeah.
Oh boy, 6 years, because you said 6 years with no support.
6
now
tough years with no support.
I need y'all to hear that. 6 years, no support.
Honestly, if I didn't have my wife, there would be no Passion Auto Care.
Okay. Big
Shout out
ups.
to Rock.
Big ups.
Shout out
Big
to
ups.
Rock.
Shout out to Rock.
Shout out to Rock.
Shout out to Rock. Honestly, and that's a true statement. And I never put that out there to social media, to nobody. My best friends don't even know.
Right.
A lot of people don't know unless she ran her mouth. But she was a big reason for Passion Auto Care behind the scenes. But financially, when I needed that, I'm in a jam. She had me every time.
Okay.
Never said no.
So, what do you think about the friends who didn't support in the beginning, but now they supporting now? Because I seen a meme or a post on Instagram the other day, and it's like, when you first start, nobody want to support, but they don't want to start supporting until it becomes the cool thing to do. Because Passionato's on, Mike Robb is on, and now it's like, I want my friends to know that I'm affiliated.
Yeah, I'm affiliated. I'm a part of that.
Like, I know him.
I help Passion Auto Care. I know him.
Yeah.
It's not the case. I don't take it. Because it does happen now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where a lot of people I'm not even going to say it.
I've been day one.
Yeah, I've been day one. Hey, look, I can tell you, Roxanne is the only day one. And that's my wife on record. But I don't feel no way about it. You know what I mean? I see it, and I know how to acknowledge it without saying anything. And that's cool. Just,
Never forget.
Never forget. You never going to forget. You know what I mean? Even to the mentor that I wanted, that I reached out to. So this is a crazy story, right? So when he started to see my buzz and my following and the amount of cars that I was posting, he reached out and wanted to partner up with me.
Oh, true.
And I'm like, whoa, 4 years in,
Oh, okay.
now you want to partner up.
I don't need a mentor now.
I don't need a mentor now. I don't need a big brother now. Right? I'm good now. And I figured it out. You told me I was going to figure it out. I figured it out. You know what I mean? So
I like your nerve.
Oh man. There's no partnership now. There's nothing we have in common besides I wish you the best. I hope you wish me the best. And that's how you gotta leave it.
People be tripping. like the absolute audacity.
The audacity and the I know you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know you know.
I know you know you almost crushed me.
Yeah.
And now you come in to partner up. Now that you see the success. And that's the scary thing with a growing business.
Okay.
When they see your success and they see you start to flourish, now it's like, I wonder, can I still get in now? But when I needed you, you wasn't there. So now it's too late. You missed your train.
Yeah, they late $1 short.
They late in $1 short. You probably could have had 20% shares with Passion Auto Care. It's too late now.
Off the rip.
Off the rip.
Yeah.
It's like how a lot of people say, put stocks in it. He could have put stocks in me back in 2015.
Yeah.
2019 is too late now. Now I got this train going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I like to play devil's advocate.
Let's go.
Because you didn't get that support from that person, do you think it helped you? Because what if, they gave you the keys to the game and then made it easy for you? versus
like
you had
that,
to grind from the
that.
ground up. And like, I know a little bit about, well, first let me clear it up. I don't know nothing about detailing.
Okay.
But I have heard the discussions from
yeah.
you and, things I've seen on Instagram.
Okay.
Where it's like, you got to mix the different solutions, the potions to get that stuff correct. On the vehicles. But it's like, you learned all that by yourself.
Absolutely.
So it made you grind a little differently, whether that's searching on YouTube, the whole nine. But like, could that have actually benefited you that he didn't give you the keys to the game?
50-50.
Okay.
I'm on the fence with that, right? Because I made a lot of mistakes that I could have avoided, right? I made a lot of costly mistakes, not knowing, right? Had he gave me that, you know what I mean?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Had he
You're not
gave me
asking
that,
for everything.
I'm not asking you to give me the handbook of detailing, right? Don't give me your handbook.
Give me the cheat sheet.
Don't give me the cheat sheet. I don't want that. But if he gave me a little bit of knowledge, it could have saved me for them costly mistakes down the road. But I think a lot of businesses need those costly mistakes, right? Because you learn from them.
Yeah.
So I messed up a lot of paint, right? Trying to buff on my own. Buff the paint right off the car. You know, absolutely. Or not knowing how to mix your chemicals, right? So you're leaving 100% concentrate chemical on a wheel that's going to tear that wheel up if you don't remove fast enough.
Got it.
So I had to repair some wheels. I had to repair some, get some paint jobs.
Those are costly mistakes.
Those are costly mistakes.
Yeah, that's that. When you said costly, I was like, oh,
Sure,
$50.
might need some,
little $50
might need some liability insurance.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go the Mako route. I ain't about to get the top paint job for you, but I'm gonna get you fixed. I'm gonna get you fixed, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold my end of the deal up as a business owner to compensate you for the damage I've done.
Yeah.
So to go back to what you said, Kaylin, the route I took, I would say it definitely helped because I had to create my own lane, right? But it was a lot of growing pains that I feel like I could have, skipped over. But that's life, right? Do you want it the easy way or do you want to get? Well, this the thing too with what you said. So, say if it was one of them real costly mistakes, right? Let's say 10 grand.
Yeah.
And I probably couldn't have never, recovered from that.
Yeah.
Right.
Could have put you under.
It could have put me under. It could have crippled me. You know what I mean? Like, so it's 50-50 with that. I like how you play devil advocate with that. But I don't regret taking the road you know what I mean? Because it made me who I am now.
And then today, and this is like my little ego, because at the end of the day, you can be like, I ain't need nobody help, and that's something like I need to get better with.
Yeah.
But I mean, whether it's like my 9 to 5, or like business stuff, it's like I'd rather just do it myself.
Yeah.
So, what I will say about that and just about mentorship in general is what it makes me think about. Because one of the things my husband is always getting on me about is intellectual property, right? So he you can't just give away everything. Like you gotta, like some things you had to struggle and come up with yourself. But I do feel like as I'm always open to like being a mentor, and even if it's just a warm welcome to someone who's like a beginning designer, beginning stationer or whatever. And I'm like, hey, I don't really have a lot to give you, but if you have a question, I'm here for it. And that would have helped you avoid those costly mistakes, but you still would have ground it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's still one of those things where it's like, it's a warm welcome. Hey, welcome to the business. I hope it do well. If you got any questions, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I think that's all. Sometimes that's all that's necessary. Yeah. That in itself is support. If you need something, I'm here.
So when detailers reach out to me for knowledge on certain things, I'll tell them take classes.
Okay.
I don't have time to give you the training that you need for that.
Right.
You want to learn how to buff a car? Don't watch YouTube. Don't Google it.
Yeah.
Actually take professional classes and learn hands-on. And even after those classes, you're gonna have mistakes, right?
Yeah.
But you'll learn from them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hopefully not too costly.
Right.
But you'll definitely learn from it. And it'll make you a great detailer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'll pass that knowledge on them to tell them, hey, I can't show you.
Right.
But take
this class.
Take what I took to get the knowledge the right way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to repair paint like I had to repair.
Right.
Thinking
Right.
you know it all.
Exactly.
Because you watch YouTube for an hour and a half.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the advice I give the upcoming details.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that some people think that they can't even give that level of advice.
Yeah.
But it's like, I always tell people like, I could give somebody 100% the recipe. You'll never have my sauce. Like it's just, it just is what it is.
You
like
can stand over top me and watch me.
and it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but I'm glad that folks can reach out to you, and then they'll get the warm welcome that you didn't get.
That's one of my favorite sayings, though. It is what it is.
It is absolutely what it is.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask a question before we get into your numbers. How did you decided you were going to be an entrepreneur, but how did you decide on detailing specifically?
So in life, right, I think we all have a passion or a gift for something, right?
Okay.
Either you're an NBA star or you're a lawyer or you knew that you had a passion for something, right? And for me, it was like when I started to sit and think about what I wanted to do the rest of my life,
Right.
to get away from that 9 to 5,
Right.
I was like, Mike, what are you good at? I had to ask myself, what are you good at?
Okay.
Right? Because I've always been a people person, but that's not going to do it. What are you good at? And I had to think I love washing cars.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I really love washing cars.
Okay.
So I had to tap into it from there.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Nah, that's good. That's good to know, because they say there's something out there for everybody.
Everybody. I truly believe that.
You might, some people get it when they 15,
Yeah.
20. Some people don't get it till they 45, 50.
Yeah.
Please, Lord, don't let that be me.
Preferably,
Don't wait that long.
Oh, Lord Jesus, no.
preferably, I want it earlier than possible.
Absolutely.
And for me, I feel like I've tapped into that. I found what my passion is, the whole nine.
Yeah.
But it's something out there for everybody. So if you listen to this, if you haven't found what that is, it's coming, because there's something out there for you. And it might be right in front of you.
Right in front of you. You just got to sit and really think, what are you good at, right? Work on it, perfect it, get better at it, and make something of it. It will work. Mm-hmm. I like to, it will work. Trust me. It don't matter what, because I used to think hey, people gonna think I'm a car wash guy.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like bad.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna make something of this.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't care what you label me, right?
Right.
I'm gonna make something of this.
Right.
I'm gonna grow this business.
And this is what I enjoy.
This is what I enjoy doing, right? So when people see me to this day hands on, they like, you never move, you don't just have your workers. Nah, I'm out here with my workers. I want to outwork them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until it's time for me to pull away from the hands on with the business. But
Yeah.
I enjoy this. I love this. I wake up with a smile on my face every day, knowing I'm doing what I love.
And that's a strong leader, setting the tone for your customers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, your employees.
Your employees, yeah.
My employees.
Because they're not going to do nothing, or they'll have resentment in taking orders from somebody who's not doing or
Right.
willing to do,
Or at least willing to do, because that is a
or at
thing.
least willing to do.
Yeah.
But Candace likes to say, the work.
Do
You got to do the work.
Do
Yes.
the work. Right?
Got to do the
And I
work.
feel like I definitely set the tone with my workers. When they see me in 110 degrees going hot or in 32-degree weather, we suited and booted. You know what I mean?
Listen,
And
you a
it's
better
like,
man than me.
It's like he could have stayed at home and sent us, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm with you.
Yeah, you a better man than me. Because when you said 110, I was like, oh no, this car will just be dirty. That's just bottles and everything. Bottles, fried. Chase can't eat fries without fries just going, like she just used them joints like confetti. Like they just going to be here because 110 degree, I can't do it.
110, those are the challenges with mobile
Whew.
detailing.
I can truly attest to Mike detailing our vehicles in the summertime in
Absolutely.
95, 100 degree weather, asking for a glass of juice.
Absolutely.
I come back to get the cup and he's like, hey, I'm going to just have to buy you a whole new carton of juice.
And I actually told him that. He's not lying. I said, I'm going to have to, because I need
this.
I need it. You know what I mean? I would prefer water, but I need this, Kayla. So I'm gonna compensate whatever the loss is.
I'm glad you said that. A quick story. My brother is into detailing, and he came to the house to detail. I left the house because I had something to do, and I was like, juice in the fridge, whatever. My husband was like, beer downstairs in my fridge. He came back. crushed. I was like but the car was beautiful.
Beautiful.
But I'm gonna tell you, my husband he needed to buy a new beer because my brother crushed them Jones.
Now see, on a hot day, that's not
what you want to do.
That's how you want to end the day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's not what you want to do.
Yeah, you trying to finish those jobs.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, I took us on a detour. So about about Passion Auto Care and about just the business in general. So we want to get into like how the business is structured, how you acquire, at what point you decide that you wanted to do employees, because I know that's a big jump from working for yourself than having people work for you, so let's start with that. At what point in the 6-year career with Passion Auto Care did you add employees to the game, and when did you know it was time?
I would say year 2.
Okay.
I started adding employees.
So let's talk about support from employees.
Yeah.
What that look like? Have you had to fire employees?
Absolutely.
Okay, just wondering.
And then to tap into the detailing world a little bit, I use a system from an employee that I don't know off the street. I bait them every time.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, I put $20 under the seat just to see where their loyalty and their morals at, right? Where your morals and values at.
Look at
so
you.
So go vacuum that car. Now, some people will call it entrapment, right? Which it is, right?
Yeah.
But you took the bait.
Yeah.
But I need to know, are you going to be one of them employees that the customer's going to say, hey, I had my sunglasses or my AirPods.
Yeah.
Those are gone.
Yeah.
I don't need those employees around me.
Wow.
I never wanted, a thief is a thief.
Yeah.
Right? And so a lot of the employees I hired took the bait.
Wow.
And this is what I tell them, when they know they caught.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead and keep it and have a good one. I hope it was worth it. Have a good one. Now they want to give it back. It's too late now. You already stole from a customer.
Yeah.
Now you represent me, so now I look bad.
Yeah. Now I stole from.
I stole from the customer, right?
Wow.
So you crushing me. So go ahead and keep the 20 and have a good day.
Come on, small business owner.
Business owner.
Yeah.
But that's how you got to weed these employees out, because this business a lot. I don't care how much money they think they see.
Yeah.
If you don't have those values and if you don't have a good work ethic, you would never succeed as a worker in the detailing business.
Okay.
So I weeded a lot of workers out.
Wow.
Got you.
Probably over 30.
Wow.
30?
Over 30.
Wow. I fired my first employee last year, and I almost had a mental breakdown.
Now can we tap into that?
Yeah, okay. It was a lot.
Dang. Nah, so real quick, let's jump back a little second.
Okay.
Because you gave us that whole journey when you was full-time working. Full-time working. And then you decided to leave the job. Mm-hmm. How did you manage to do that? Because like you said, you was putting in 60 hours.
60 hours.
At work. And I remember sometimes seeing you at the gas station off the 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you sometimes like, and you be like, I'm already on it.
Yeah.
I'm on the clock. I'm like, 4:30.
Yeah.
But like, how did you transition to being full-time? Because like you said, a car might take every bit of,
hour and a half,
but you putting in all these hours at work. How did you manage to do that to be able to walk away?
This is funny because I want to say if my company didn't shut down, I probably wouldn't be a full-time entrepreneur to this day.
It's those blessings in disguise.
Blessing in disguise. 100% blessing in disguise that the company literally shut down. And that was my go time. Let's run. I'm not punching another clock.
Okay.
I done gave 2 billionaires 15 years of my life.
Yeah.
I'm not punching another clock. Let's go.
Okay.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm either going to win with Passion Auto Care or I'm going to be a bum. That's how I had to look at it, because I just refused to punch another clock.
Okay.
And then when it was time, I ran with it.
At that point, though, about how many, if you can give me a number to it, how many consistent customers did you already have? Because that's a hard thing.
That's a hard thing.
Like leaving the job. Granted, you were kind of forced because the job shut down.
Absolutely.
But that's a scary thing.
So I had probably about 40 reoccurring customers.
Okay.
Which helped the transition. Put my 2-week notice in, when the pandemic first started, wasn't ready. I knew the company was shutting down, but I was ready to go when the pandemic started. not knowing about a pandemic, not knowing how serious this thing would take off. Mm-hmm. And I backtracked and pulled my 2-week notice out on the last day, in fear of, again, that leap of faith is scary, right? Uh-huh. You know what I mean? So you're used to a guaranteed check, and now I'm walking away from a guaranteed check in a pandemic. It was very scary, right? But I knew the company was shutting down. Mm-hmm. I got some loyal customers, you know what I mean? And I provide I think is a wonderful service. Mm-hmm. I'm really counting on this to work. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And when you say recurring customers, are those like monthly, bi-weekly?
So I have monthly, I have bi-weekly, and I have weekly.
Okay.
So a different mixture, you know. Some people want their car washed every week. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a little pricey with my prices to get that service. But I'm now offering them a discount package, right? That they love. All of them love it. Right. The package that I'm offering now. But yeah, monthly, weekly. I mean, monthly no matter what. Right. Even through the pandemic, they was like, I want my car washed. Yeah. You know, no matter what, I want my car washed.
Okay. So now, as I'm trying to put together your timeline in my head, I have you, 6 years ago starting a business.
2015, May 23rd.
2 years, right? Okay. 2 years into that, hiring employees.
Absolutely.
How?
But while you were
still 9 to 5 full time.
While I was still working. So when I punched off the clock from my 9 to 5, I was washing cars.
So you punched off the clock, you was washing cars, but you had employees washing cars with you. Yep. So 2 questions, I guess, about that. The first is, I don't even know how to phrase this, but like, how are you hiring people while you at a 9 to 5? Like, how is that working? Like, I can't even in my mind think about that.
I'm gonna be a boss, but I gotta go to the boss.
That was crazy for me, right? Okay. Because it's like I'm a whole boss, but I'm punching the clock.
Yeah, for 4 years you did that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and tried to make it work. You know what I mean? Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot came with that. Okay. Right? Not being present, things happening. Oh man,
you gotta be responsible for stuff they do.
Responsible for stuff they do. Okay. And it's like, this not gonna work. So I just thought about honestly running the business by myself. Right. But my biggest thing with hiring people, I always wanted to put people on. So I hired a lot of people I knew. Yeah. Putting my trust in them. I hired about 6 people that I was close with. And it didn't pan out.
Oh my God.
It didn't pan out at all.
Here I am having a mental breakdown over firing a stranger. And you firing people I can't do it.
And you know what I always say? This is my slogan to this day. I felt like I have never fired anybody. They fired themselves. Okay.
I mean, it's just a true statement.
So I have never had to tell somebody you're fired. Okay. They pretty much knew, it was over.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah. With this business, you fire yourself.
So in that 4 years, were you scheduling appointments while you weren't present? Like sometimes they were doing cars without you?
So I'm gonna give y'all a quick backdrop, right?
Okay.
So 2018. Okay. I've been with this company for 13 years. Okay. I had an employee running a parking lot for me. Okay. While I was 9 to 5. He was washing for me in the
True.
Your coworkers.
I had 180 coworkers. Yeah. That all knew I had a detail business. Okay. So for me, this was a gold mine because I'm making money while making money. Right. I end up losing my job because of this.
Really?
13 years, I end up losing my job because of this.
Wow.
The coworker had a bad day. Somebody very close to me that I love to this day dearly. I still can't forget this, right? He had a bad day. So, not to drag the story on. And again, I'm relying on him to run the business for me while I'm on the clock. Right. He had a bad day, a very bad day, an off day, right? And it cost me because I noticed he was bringing the cars back too fast. Okay. So for me, I knew the service wasn't right.
Yeah.
I know how long it takes me on my fast day to wash a car, interior, exterior.
Right.
He's bringing them back 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm walking outside to see
what's happening.
Yeah, because my name is on the business, right? Yeah. I need to check this quality. Quality was terrible on every last car he brought back.
Okay.
But the damage I did was not let my boss know that I'm going to check on my business. Because again, I didn't want my boss know that I was running my business.
Right.
On their ground.
On their ground. Right. So 13 years with this company, his one bad day cost me my job.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Dang.
I mean, and that was a gold mine. That was real.
that was real. That was almost better than me running it because it was like it's handed to me.
Yeah.
Right. They need a service.
Guaranteed.
While they on the clock, they know they coming out to a clean car.
Right.
So it was a win-win.
Yeah.
And I had them all in my back pocket.
Yeah.
But his bad day literally cost me, and I was relying on him.
Right.
To
get it right.
To get it right. You know, you got 8 hours to get 6 vehicles every day right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? By yourself. He had his bad day cost me a lot.
Wow.
So then from there, I know you eventually got a permanent spot.
Yep.
So you were doing mobile, like popping up, at different homes. Then you became permanent and had a spot where you was with a partner.
Yep, I had a partner.
How was that?
I hear that.
Had a partner.
How did that go?
That was terrible. But I will say this. I took a lot from that. Even, I mean, that was terrible.
Okay.
I'll never do a partnership again on record. Right?
All right.
They had the whole garage and everything.
We had a garage. We had a nice office. It was comfortable. You know what I mean? Waiting room. We had his clientele, my clientele, double mixture.
Okay.
Right? Started out wonderful. And then it turned extremely bad.
Okay.
And we had to part ways. I haven't spoke to him since 2017.
Okay. So we started the business.
Yep.
We hired the employees while we still working full time.
We started the business. We hired the employees. We partnered up.
Yes.
To help actually run my business while I was still
I'm on the clock. Right. Closed the partnership.
Got
fired from the job.
Got fired from a job. 13 years.
Okay.
Now all of this alone could crush anybody.
I hear.
The average person would have been stopped. On top of what you left out, the non-support from the very beginning.
No support, right? Except for Rock.
Okay.
Let's not leave her out.
We're not gonna leave her out.
No support. Terrible employees.
Okay.
And a crush partnership.
Okay.
Crush partnership.
On top of having kids.
On top of having kids. On top of having kids.
But all in the background, we are steady growing.
Steady growing. But I take that bad experience with the partnership and I hold it to me and it make me go harder.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I would never partner up again on record with any other detail.
Okay.
Right? But it crushed me. You know what I mean? It could have crushed me. But it ended a friendship too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So not only did it end a partnership, it ended a friendship.
Right.
That I feel to this day probably can't get repaired.
Yeah. It's a lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Okay, so now we got a steady growing business.
Yep. Steady growing business.
And so then the panini happens, as I like to call it. All right. And then we decide that we gonna go full time. We not going back.
We not punching the clock. We going full throttle.
Okay. So now let me go back and ask you a question about your prices during this time. Because we just had an episode where we're asking people, making sure we're telling our viewers to charge their worth, right? Make sure that you stand firm in your prices, that you know what you're worth and you charge it. Have you ever had an issue with that? Like, and how have you grown? I'm sure your prices have changed over the years.
Absolutely. Changed tremendously.
As your knowledge and experience grew.
Knowledge, experience, chemicals.
Okay.
And knowing what I'm giving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to some, it's just a car wash, right?
Right.
To me, no. I don't do car washing.
Right.
I'm detailing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The tools I've used, the methods I use, the 2-bucket wash method.
Yeah.
The knowledge that I have.
Okay.
I know my worth.
Okay.
He's certified, like he knows his worth.
I know
period. I know, and that's it.
That's it.
And and I always like to ask people this. When you started changing your prices, right? As so you had some clients.
Yeah.
You started changing your prices.
Yeah.
Did you find that clients were leaving because of your changing prices?
A couple fell off.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But the solid, loyal ones, they say you been should have changed that.
Oh.
We been knew your worth.
Okay. We was waiting for you to find out.
We was waiting on you to find out what you was worth. And I'm charging a high number which I thought was a high number.
Okay.
And they like, Mike, you way better than that.
How much were you in the very beginning?
What's that? Starting out?
Yeah, how much?
25.
Whew, okay, 25, that's it.
I'm trying to catch it now.
Hey, look, 25 interior, exterior, and
interior and exterior.
Wow.
Exterior.
And you
now
was
I didn't have all
sweating.
it. I was sweating. I didn't have all the chemicals and the know-how.
Yeah.
But I know I was putting in
You
good
was
work.
putting in work.
Yeah.
How long was it taking you?
Some days 2 hours.
$25.
Now hold on, just imagine.
But that's new.
Just imagine that's new. Starting out.
Yeah.
Just imagine the cost of a mother that has 3-4 kids.
That's what I'm saying. With the
Oh,
French
she came
fries
up, French
and all the
fries,
things
all the-
and
You
the
seen
stains
ours
on the
before.
seat.
You've seen ours before.
You had the stains on the seats and all of this.
Seats, the milk spills.
Yeah,
you know
all
what
of
I mean?
that.
And I'm putting in some good work, right?
$25.
$25. And expecting, I know they about to tip me $100.
Yeah. Nah.
Here go $5.
Nah, here go. Yeah.
And I'm crushed, but I'm like, I gotta build clientele somehow.
Okay.
So I felt, not taking business school or not, having a mentor. I felt that you have to start at the bottom, lower your prices, get your name out there.
Okay.
Let them see the good work, and eventually you gotta creep them prices up, or you're gonna be crippled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're working backwards.
Okay.
So eventually I had to go up.
Okay.
Nah, that's key.
Yeah, it is. And I like that your day one, some of those who stay with you, were like, we knew it. We were just waiting on you to know it.
Waiting on you. I got one particular client that I want to mention.
Okay.
Miata. She has been with Passion Auto Care, honestly, before Passion Auto Care became a name.
Okay.
So she's been with me since 2014.
Yes.
When she would see me cleaning my car, my wife's vehicle, can you do mine? And for me, I didn't even think about starting Passion Auto Care in 2014.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I'll come over and do it.
Yeah.
And she's been with me since day
one.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Well, shout out to Miata.
Shout out to Miata. That's
clutch.
my wife's friend, by the way.
Okay.
That's clutch.
So
Yeah.
we
That's
got
clutch.
rocking Miata, but that's super clutch. You know what I mean? Super clutch.
That's crazy.
So, say Candace's brother, right, is
Hey,
into is into detailing, like he has his own business.
Absolutely.
And for other future people, that might hear this podcast, like I like washing cars. I like keeping my own car clean.
Clean, yeah.
So maybe that's something I could get into. What was the initial financial investment for you to get started?
It's about to go back to rock, y'all. Initial investment was around $10,000.
10,000.
10,000.
So is that like just having? I don't know.
Yeah.
So is that just like having multiple towels, so you can just have more than one towel or a few towels throughout the day?
So
is that different hoses? Like what's that?
So with me, my wife always wanted me to start literally at the bottom. You don't need this. You don't need that. And I'm like, baby, I do. You know what I mean?
She's
No,
like
Mike. You know what I mean? Like, no. But for me, I always felt like I needed what could get the job done more efficient, more effective, and really provide a great service, right?
Okay.
So I had to get the best. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want other detailers to take that route and feel like they need it. I felt like I needed it. You know what I mean?
We actually talked about that last week where, like, when we're talking about small businesses especially, there's a fine balance between waiting and getting all the pieces in place and then having that passion, that fire to go, but don't forget that you need to make sure you get more efficient as you go, because there's a balance between the two, because you don't want to be janky, right?
Yeah.
But you also don't want to wait too long. If there's an opportunity that you need to hop on it, but don't forget to move along.
And I will tell detailers, like, if you always put back in your business, right?
Okay.
That was always my thing.
Right.
I just put more than I needed to.
Okay.
I would say in my business, right? I could have got the job done, with less.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it would have took longer, and I knew personally from watching other detailers that the results are not. I'm not saying the results that
that are super spectacular.
super
past that.
spectacular. Yeah. Like how
okay.
they get that carpet so.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So for me, again, you don't need that. You can make it work until you save up enough to climb that ladder.
Yeah.
But for me, I was just tapping my wife like, baby, I need another, another 2,000. She like, again? You don't need it. And I'm like, I need it.
Is she the financial person in your relationship?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
This sounds very familiar. This narrative that you are giving me, because let me tell you something about my husband.
She's a great money manager, which I'm not. Because again, with detailing, a lot of money comes in. And if you're not
It's
managing
like it can be cash in hand sometimes.
it can be cash in hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had a great day today. You know what I mean? and if I didn't manage, it took me a lot to manage that money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it just was so much coming in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Her, she's more, hey, Mike, let me get it.
Yeah. Let me have it.
You
Put it in
know
my
what I
palm.
mean?
Thank
Put it in
you.
my palm.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm going to give you your cut.
I'm going to give you your
Right.
cut, you know. And,
Like Monopoly, she's the bank.
Yes.
the bank.
The bank.
Come
The
on.
bank.
That's what that's me. I'm
Here's
the
your
bank.
allowance. But again, you got to have a woman that you truly trust.
Right.
And you know, hold on, can I turn all of this money over
Yeah.
to her and be good?
Yes.
With Rock, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it's a good tip that you gave though. One about managing your money. I would say that for hairstylists, barbers, all those cash in hand type businesses, like you have to manage your money.
Because you can honestly put yourself out of business.
Yeah.
Because if you're not saving, if you're not pouring back into the business, and you're just out at the clubs popping by, you know, not to say that, but if you're not managing that fast money,
Yeah.
you can potentially go under.
Yeah, I know. Especially like think about the pandemic just happened, quarantine. When it first happened, everything was shut down, locked down for a while. A good friend of mine is a barber, and so it truly affected him. Like people was in the house, they're not getting haircuts. As a matter of fact, all health kind of related businesses are shut down. Don't do nothing. So he had to survive on his savings. Luckily, he's a good saver. You know what I'm saying? Because if he wasn't, he was going to be shot.
Just imagine if he was one of those guys out
that
just blew money,
cash.
right? Because they know they can get it back tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what my motto used to be, Kaylin? Honestly, I can blow 5 today because I can make it back tomorrow.
Dang.
And guess what? I'm not saving anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I literally I would go on this principle for about 3 or 4 years. I can blow 5 because I can make it back tomorrow. But again, you don't know when that rainy day is gonna hit.
No,
right?
you
don't know
don't.
when that pandemic is gonna hit.
Come on, the pandemic taught us all
right.
something.
What you call it, panini?
The panini, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
The panduce, all of it.
All of
Okay, it taught us something.
It definitely did.
So it's funny. So back to you, like balancing your investment. I will say I was surprised. So I'm a big doing what I do with businesses and all that kind of stuff. I always support my friends' businesses. So obviously I'm gonna support my brother. So when he called me and said he was doing things, set up the Instagram, did all the things, I was like, oh, I love it. So I went out and bought his domain. He's not even running the website yet, but I bought it because I like the name. I was like, I'm just going to save it for when you're ready to do a thing. We got it. So he comes to the house to detail the car and he pulled a whole pressure washer type stuff right out of his trunk. I was so surprised. I was like, I wanted to be like out there with my palm. I was like, go, and I'm ready.
Getting it out the mud.
Cause he let's do it. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to go back to him now. I'm going to invest in him. I'm asking him, how much do you need? You know what I mean? Cause what I did notice is that it takes him a little longer than I think it should, especially by himself, one person, right? So whatever you need to shorten that time to make it more efficient so that you can get more cars in a day, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell him, put that on passion. I learned something today. Yes.
Now that's what I'll tell a lot of detailers too. A lot of detailers chase quantity, right?
Okay.
A lot of them want 10, 15 cars a day.
Okay.
I don't want that. I want 4 or 5 cars, price right, make my quota. That's my day.
Okay.
Can you do 15, 20 a day? Because that was gonna be my next question, because there's only 24 hours in a day. Let's just look at the math.
Yeah.
24 hours in a day, everybody's not full-time entrepreneur. So say if you work 8 to 9 hours a day, so now you down to what?
Right.
13.
So you get off at 5 o'clock. You can do.
You down to 13 hours left in the day. You going to sleep.
You got to
maybe
sleep
4 hours if you one of those type. That
some can run
never
off
sleep.
But if you mobile, you don't even have light. So you down between 5 to 9, 8,
don't
9.
let it be fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Wintertime, get dark at 5:30. So how many cars is feasible?
Well, at the shop we used to chase a number.
Okay.
I used to want a number that I wanted to hit, and 30 vehicles was feasible. So we used to do about 30 vehicles.
Because y'all had lights.
We had lights.
In the shop.
We had, and I had a nice staff to help with that. You couldn't do that with a 2-man system. Right?
Okay.
Even a 3-man system.
Right.
Some people can do it. Let me take that back. Right. Some people can do it, but the work quality, I can promise you, those people won't be coming back.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of parking lot detailers.
Yes.
Right? There's nothing wrong with that if that's your niche. But for me, you're chasing time, right? Because you want that turnover. You don't want that customer sitting for 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
And they just left out a grocery store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to get them out. Yeah. You want to get them out of there in 30 minutes.
Okay.
So the work is going to look crappy.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Like I just drove through a thing.
I just drove through an automated car wash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Missed the bottom.
Streets everywhere.
Yeah.
My tire shine half on. You know, they're trying to roll you.
Right.
I never wanted to go into that type of business.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So coming to a home was the service I wanted to provide.
Yeah.
And taking that hour, 2 hours. I did a car today that was 4 hours.
Okay.
Right? A really bad car. You know what I mean? Really, really bad car.
Yeah.
That was 4 hours. But when you take that time, when you got the right tools, and then you see the results, when you tell that customer what their price is and stand on it, and they see it, they feel a little bit better with giving you that money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to get the money regardless.
Yeah.
But I want to get it, and I want you returning.
You want to feel, and you want them to feel good
I
about
want you
it.
to feel good about the
Right.
service I just provided, because we just slaved on this car, right?
Yeah.
For 4 hours. So I want you to feel good about it, right? And I want you to return more than anything.
Yeah.
So now that you got a full detail, I want you to start booking basic details every month.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I can put you on a discount rate so you ain't getting hit upside the head.
Okay.
But it's got to be due on the first of the month.
Got it. So you
know,
just
like
getting
your
it
gym
done.
Membership, you getting it done.
And you
whatever
do that.
day you choose. But your payment is already up front.
And the discount is because if I'm doing it every month, you ain't got time to get crazy.
Oh yeah, it's no room for that car to get crazy.
Okay.
You know
Got
what I
it.
mean?
Gotcha.
Because we're staying on top of it.
Okay.
Right? So even if you got kids, it can get a little crazy.
You ain't telling me nothing.
Yeah.
But it can't get too crazy,
Right.
because I know we coming every 15th of the month, let's say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that 10K investment that you said, you know, to really start off to make things efficient, you have a mobile van.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
is that the 10K to put the equipment in the van, or am I way under in terms
well-
of when it comes to the price? So like, was that 10K just to fix the van up?
That 10K, so I brought a lemon.
Okay.
Right? I brought a $1,200 van.
Okay.
That was a complete lemon. And I'm like, I'm starting out. I just brought my first detail van,
Okay.
which was a lemon.
Okay.
I was so, I got my van, right?
Yeah.
Didn't look under the hood, you know.
You just
And
excited.
I'm
Like,
just
I got it. I
excited.
got
it.
And then when I got quotes on what it would take to get this van moving, it was $7,000
Woo.
that I had to dump into this van.
Okay.
Now, for me, I could have just chalked that loss up. I'm one of them people. Nah, well, let's make something.
You gonna stick to it.
I'm gonna stick to it. My wife, like, you crazy.
Because that's where I'm at.
Because
You're
the bank,
crazy.
yeah.
The bank has said you have lost your mind. Go buy another
They
one.
got you.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool.
Calls it a day.
1200 is better than 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for me, I'm like, nope. I want a new engine.
I don't have time for this stubbornness. The bank is like, no.
Nope. And so that's how we got to that 10K.
Okay.
So it didn't have to be, right?
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
I could have did your traditional, equipment in the car, pulling up to the house and providing
Right.
the service, the best of what I got, right? One thing I didn't want a customer to ever say to me is, you're coming to my house to provide a service and you need to use my water?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And my
you need
electricity?
my stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the discount now, right?
Okay.
Because I pay a water bill and I pay electricity
And now
bill.
I'm about to.
Now I'm about to help you. I never wanted that.
Okay.
So for me, I had to have my ducks in order with
Okay.
this van.
And so I don't know anything about detailing. So the van has water in it.
Van has a water tank in it.
Okay.
A huge water
A
tank.
huge water tank.
Okay.
The van has a huge water tank. You have your generator, which is your electricity.
Got it. So
That's-
you are like literally self-propelled
Oh, I don't
in
need-
this
I don't
van.
need
The
anything.
van
Got
is
it.
stripped.
The
Okay.
van, the van is stripped. Everything is being built. The first van I did myself.
Okay.
My second van, which was way costly than the first,
Right.
because I brought it brand new.
Right.
I went with a professional setup that cost me a nice penny,
Okay.
but I had the money.
But
to
you
do
had
it.
the money at that time.
Yeah, I
Got
had the
it.
money to do it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Matter of
I
fact,
understand.
shout out to no, I'm not gonna say the company's name that I used to work for.
Yeah.
But they gave me a nice pension, and that pension
Went to your.
went to my van
Okay.
and new equipment
Okay.
to help me run Passion Auto Care back.
Turned it to an asset.
Turned it to an asset.
That makes sense. All right.
And
All
when
right.
they offered to give me that pension at 65, right, for the little amount that the monthly amount they give you,
Yeah.
who's to say I'm going to live that long?
Nah,
right?
cash me out.
now. Federal's going to take. Let them take let them take that percentage. cash me out now, and I need that.
Yes, I'm a finance major, and I'm here to tell you, dollar is worth more today than it is
more
tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Cash me out.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
you.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Yeah,
and I cashed out quick.
Exactly.
So, what does your marketing look like in terms of like, you know, for detail or just Passionata specifically? We know you have Instagram.
Yep.
And you wasn't getting a repost.
Yeah, you wasn't getting no repost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you left, you had about 40 consistent, recurring customers. But that number got to grow because, like you said,
Got to grow.
Got kids.
Yep.
Kids got to eat.
Yeah.
You like to stay fresh, so you got the fresh J's
I
on.
definitely like to keep a fresh pair of Jordans on my feet.
Got to keep the wifey looking good.
Got to keep her happy.
You know, so
shout out
it's
to Rob.
like you have personal expenses. So that means the business has to continue to grow.
The business definitely has to continue to grow. Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth is powerful, right?
It is.
And then when they see you, you know, the neighbors coming out. You know, and I think I provide a service that most people haven't seen yet, right? So when they start to see phone wash, why is that car completely white?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
They come out, and some people watch from the window. I had a guy literally today, he stood for about 30 minutes and watched what we do, and he was like, this is amazing. I've never seen this before. He didn't ask for a business card, though.
Yeah.
You know,
But
maybe
even
that's
When
not
you
his
come
thing.
back next time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was like, this is amazing. You guys are on to something different here. You know what I mean? That's what you want. You know, when people pull up, you hand them that business card. But word of mouth.
Okay.
Nah.
And I'm strictly only marketing from Instagram.
Oh, okay.
So I have a website that I send everybody to.
Okay.
You know, you can't get on my schedule now unless you book through that website.
Come on.
Because
I can vouch for that too.
Oh, yeah. Kaylin, too. And
I was a customer from day one. I'm like, hold on. I can't just text you.
Kaylin actually was the first customer I introduced phone wash on.
Okay.
In 2016, the Jeep.
Okay.
Still got the video of that. That was the first car I actually phoned with that Jeep. And I was one of the first detailers to introduce phone wash to the DMV area on Kaylin's Jeep.
Yeah,
and he was that day one customer,
Okay.
you know what I mean? But now when you start to grow, like I had a guy the other day say, Mike, I feel like you're getting Hollywood on me because I got to book through your website now to get you.
That's a month out. I told Mickey, I was like, man, we need a car wash.
Man,
I was like,
oh,
he got a website. I was like, all right, let me go. I'm like, hold on. April?
Yeah.
So I hit him. I was like, I gotta wait till April. He was like, my bad. Like, maybe I can slide you in on a cancellation. I'm like,
put me on the wait
but
list.
I understand that's business.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool.
You know what I mean? But I like to stay booked out. It's a good and bad thing, right? Because
Yeah.
I missed out on somebody that's been day one. You know, but I probably gained 5 to 10 new people that I never met. You know what I mean? So it's a good and bad thing.
Take the good.
I take the good.
Take the good.
I'm sorry, Katie.
Yeah,
Nah, it's good.
Take the
No,
good.
Mickey,
And your
I
day
I respect
ones.
everybody's
But-
business.
I'm about to say, your day ones will understand
They will
because
understand.
I will tell you what, the ease of being able to schedule online for a new client is nothing like it.
Yep.
Like that's the one thing I keep referring to my brother, but that's the one thing I keep telling him. I bought the domain. I was like, set up the website, do the scheduling online because people who don't, especially people who don't know you, as they start to reach out, seeing you out a professional splash, seeing that I can just log in, click, okay, what kind of car I got, and click the schedule, whatever. It makes it so much easier. I have a nail tech who does nails out of her house, and she has a schedule. I promise you, I haven't seen Tiffany in 2 months because I cannot get on her schedule. I feel like I'm a day one, and I respect the hustle, but her schedule just always like it makes me want to cry.
So let me tap into that real quick. My barber I've been with for 10 years, right? Loyal customer. I reached out today and asked for a haircut because I'm going to be on a podcast.
Yeah.
And guess what he told me?
What?
I'm booked.
Check the schedule.
Oh, I was crushed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you miss the podcast?
Yeah.
You know, can you get me? I'm sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
And as a business owner, I know.
Yeah, you
But
get it.
I'm crushed because I feel like, where's your loyalty? You can't cancel somebody and get me in, you know, before 6 o'clock. Where's your loyalty? And he stood on it.
Yeah.
I'm booked. I see you next week.
But then, so for me, that makes me respect you even more though. Because just like if you tell me back on the prices, it's like, well, Candace, you know, I would like to treat somebody for their invitations.
Right.
What's your price? And you like $350. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay it. And then it's like, cause I like the way that she was straight up. She ain't sugarcoated, and it's like,
Just
all right,
is
well, I
what it
respect
is.
you.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna
It
respect
is
your
what it
business.
is.
So it's like, all right, I get it. I gotta get in line.
I gotta get in line.
Yeah.
But my podcast is live now, so I needed that.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah,
But,
yeah.
You know what
Deep
I mean?
down, you
Deep
still
down,
like,
I'm
dang,
still in my
like,
feelings.
Listen, when my husband came to the door and grabbed the baby, because the baby was here for a little bit, and he was like, "Oh, you got your hair redone?" I was like, "No, I did it myself because my girl was booked." So you just gotta do what you gotta do.
What you gotta do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sorry, I couldn't look my best. Hey, it is what it is.
It is.
It is what
Absolutely
it is.
what it
But,
is.
I respect his business.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
salty. Not gonna lie, a little salty, but
But that's the thing sometimes about certain businesses, right? As a barber, as a nail tech or whatever, you're a one man show. And so that was gonna be my final question for you. I don't know if Caitlin has any more. One of my final questions is, how do you make sure that your employees are given the service that you give? Do you train them? What do you do?
It's train them and watch them and correct them. A lot of employees don't like if your boss tells you you did that wrong and you like, come on, man. I know, you know what I mean? I know
Yeah,
my job
that
type,
feeling.
right?
Yeah.
That feeling. So I never wanted to be that boss.
Okay.
But I trained them and then I do go behind them and tell them, hey, you missed right there.
Okay.
Or, they'll say, is it in the package? And I'll say, go a little deeper.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean? If you see something that's not in the package, like say if we had a package that only required dashboard wipe down,
Okay.
their radio got a ketchup stain on it. Go the extra mile and remove the ketchup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't tell the customer because they're gonna get the car back and they're gonna see like, wow, they left that.
Yeah.
Now technically we're in the right.
Yeah.
That's not in your package.
Right.
You read the term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The terms and conditions. You read what was in your package, but go the extra mile. You know what I mean? Trust me, it'll pay off in the long run.
Okay. Yeah. And I ask that because, for people who have businesses, service businesses, especially, and people rely on you. So you like your barber, you've been with him for 10 years because he's a beast at what he does, right? Like when people start to grow and have employees. So if I'm used to Mike Robb coming to my house washing my car, then you send somebody else. I'm like, who is this fool? And is he going like, what's happening here? You know what I mean?
So I have those customers that if they see somebody else, I reschedule. I'll wait. And I'm like, that hurts me as a business owner.
Yeah.
I can't grow if you can't rely on the training that I provided my workers, my employees, to provide. And for a lot of my loyal customers, they just not having it.
No.
I'll wait. I don't care how long I gotta wait.
Yeah, I know.
If it's not gonna be you,
I can
but
imagine.
that crushes me as a, you know what I mean?
It
I'm gonna be better.
It definitely crushes you because that's something I just had this conversation with a friend of ours the other night. Because it's like you keep putting a certain person, you keep putting Mike out there as Passionato. You keep putting Mickey out there as Go Stretch. Or, every business has that key person especially as a small business. So people get acclimated to that person. The problem is when it's time to grow, your day ones don't want your other employees who are probably just as good, but they're not Mike.
But they're not. They don't have the passion
like
of
you
Mike.
said, how can you eventually scale? You know what I'm saying? But like that's a true problem, and it's like we got to try to get that across to our customers because
I've been preaching this.
You're not going to be washing cars
forever. No.
You want to be on the beach.
I got another 4 years in me.
Right? Yeah, you want to be on the beach
before I run the business a different way.
So what's interesting is I think what helps with that as a consumer, because I'm a own mine and say I'm that client. Yeah. I want the person that I know who started this because they have the passion for the thing and they're going to do it the best. But as I think about myself, right, I go to Chick-fil-A and I go to whatever Chick-fil-A I see because it's consistent. It does not matter. It's a model every time. So maybe as a
solid model.
And it is what it is. And so I think as Mike or whomever is training your employees, something to give your clients the feel that this person or the representative that you sent in place is going to be just as good. It should be good enough that I'm sending them, because if I sent them, you got to know it's me. Yeah. But maybe like a Mike Robb guarantee or something like that helps folks know, like, if it's wrong, Mike Robb gonna come back and personally fix it, because that's what's gonna make them feel better. And then as they get acclimated to other people, you can continue to grow, and they'll no matter what, they'll continue to trust Passion Auto Care and not just Mike Robb. You know.
And I gotta tell a lot of my customers, hey, if they mess up, please tell me. I want to know. I don't critique them on every little thing, because a lot of things might not be in your package that I can argue with, right? But if they didn't provide a Mike Rob service or a Passion Auto Care service, please let me know. I want the negative feedback so I can correct it. And well, I need pictures too, because you can't just make a claim.
Make up a story.
You can't make a story just because you know what I mean. You wanted me. No. You can't just give me that, right? So that's a tough thing. I feel like a lot of businesses gotta. Well, we as people, we got to figure out, like, let me trust their worker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they mess up, I'm going to relay that, hey, I didn't like it. Why you didn't like it, though? But don't just be that customer because it wasn't Mike or Mickey or, you know, Kate or whoever. You got to trust the service trust that the training was done properly and trust that, because, again, it's crippling me to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah, because I can send my workers to new customers, right, and get away with it. You know what I mean? They may come back, they may not. Yeah, it may be a one-time deal.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? But the loyal customers, they like, nah.
Yeah.
And I would say to the stream chasers who are listening, that means, though, that you have to make sure that you are providing, again, do the work, are providing the training to the people that you hire. Don't just hire somebody and set them out there and set them free, right? Like, make sure you are giving them the rundown of the business. They're not gonna love the business like you love the business. Nobody's gonna love the business. It's not their business. But make sure that they have the training to provide the proper service, so you won't be the business that Kaylin and I talked about last week, where somebody running you down on social media. Yeah. Make sure your employees know what they're doing. I never wanted
to be that business.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I always try to correct anything wrong. I try to get on it ASAP.
And somebody taking it, and now they reposting the wrong thing. Passion Auto Care that messed up my car.
I had a customer that was like, "Hey, Mike, I like the service that you provide. Your workers there in my car, they missed a lot, right? That normally you would get." So what I did, I compensated her immediately. Done. Let's give her 50% back. Yeah, right. I'll take that hit. And I hope you book with me again. I'm extremely sorry that they didn't live up to my expectations, but so that you're happy and you know that I care, I refunded her 50% off.
There it is.
That's it.
Yeah. You know, that's key customer service.
Key customer service. You know what I always tell people too, Caleb? Not to be cocky with this. I'm like, you might outwash me, out-buff me, out-shampoo me. You won't out-customer service me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the Chick-fil-A motto.
Yeah, I do too. My pleasure.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Nah, that's key.
My pleasure. I mean, you won't out customer service me.
Yeah, that's key.
Nah.
Real quick, I want to dive into, because this is something that you've been very humble on. So a lot of people, and I like to call it their nickel and diamond.
Okay.
Like, and it's not a bad thing, but a lot of business deal with their nickel and dime customers. Like, it's a 1-to-1. It's like, all right, I got this one person, I got another person coming in, and another person, but that's nickel and diamond. You have a contract.
Absolutely.
With a funeral home.
Absolutely.
True.
I got a big time.
Which is a big time thing.
Wash them hearse.
Why? Was there
and the limos, all of it.
How did that process happen? Or like, what did that process look like in obtaining them as a client?
That process literally fell out the air and fell into my lap.
Okay.
Big time contract, right? A contract, honestly, that I can stop going to house. Okay. I could just
do that.
I could just do that and be comfortable, right? The president saying a repost from a homegirl. This how reposting literally is free.
Back to support.
This customer that I still don't know to this day who it was.
Okay. Wow.
Reposted my work. The president she has a social media. She's seen, wow, he cleans cars. Let me reach out to her and see. So the customer said, wonderful service that he provides, right? So the president asked her, what's his character like? Ooh. What's his personality like? Ooh. You know, how she got in tune with this customer. The customer, whoever she is. And I thank you for whoever you are, because I never asked the president who it was. Yeah. But said nothing but great things about me. And that led the president, she has an assistant. She sent her assistant my way on 100. When I first got the call, I'm like, this is a scam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like,
too good to be true.
Too good to be true. Hey, we want you as our head detailer for a funeral service. Okay, I was like, okay, I'll think about it. I'll call you back. Too good to be true. Scam, back to work. He called again, left a message. So now I'm like, hold on, is this really about to happen? I ain't even respond to the voicemail. I was like, scam. Email came through.
Okay,
like,
yeah, and get that email.
I'm like, hold on, they found my email?
Yeah.
Something, this got to be real. And then they wanted to set up an interview.
Okay.
They like, we want to meet you. We want to do a demonstration on one of the vehicles. And if we like what we see from one of the vehicles, you'll be a lifetime detailer. And only you can mess this contract up. So when I heard lifetime,
you said, well.
So now I had to say, well, how long have y'all been around?
Yeah, how long you been in business? When you say lifetime, what we talking
did
about?
y'all just start?
Yeah.
You know, like, y'all got 6 months in.
Yeah, y'all got 6. They said 1900. We started.
Okay. So you meant lifetime.
So y'all gonna be around for a long time.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And them type of businesses be in the family.
Yeah.
Family
Just trickle down. Yep. So it's around.
And you always gonna need a funeral
You're
home.
always gonna need a funeral home. So when she passes away, God forbid she doesn't pass away anytime soon, we all gotta go, all right? But when it's just the next family member up, and I like their motto though. You know what I mean? If I go, I hope Micah, Micaiah, one of my kids, I hope they keep it going. And with the funeral contract, when she said lifetime, I was all in.
Now, how long have you been doing that?
Since December last year.
Okay.
Yeah, that and it came perfect. Because wintertime we struggle, right?
Right.
We struggle with weather. Not so much as work.
Yeah,
we
but
struggle
weather.
with weather.
Yes.
Because if it's a certain degrees, we're not coming out.
Yeah.
You know, anything below 32, I'm not coming out.
Yeah.
So if you had an appointment and you was really looking forward to my service,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I hope you don't bash me, but we won't be coming.
Yeah.
And I really don't like telling customers why. You know why.
It's 32
It's 32
degrees.
degrees. You know.
Yeah.
But some people, when they feel like I booked a service, I left my deposit.
Yeah.
I don't care if hell on earth.
Yeah.
I want to see Passion Auto Care out there. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But big time contract, and I do stay humble with it. You know what I mean? Big time contract.
I seen that post with the pretty little purple purse.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he locked in.
You know, I was there last night. Quick story to tap in on this. I was there last night doing my thing outside because it felt good, and I seen a Jeep STR8, and now the funeral home is in the trenches.
Okay.
So when you see a car, buck a U-turn. You got to kind of be on alert.
You on alert? Yeah. Like, all right, let me watch my back. Yeah.
Now let me get in prepare mode. And he pulled up quite fast, tinted windows, and he hopped out. And I was like, like, what's up? Can I help you? And he said, Passion Auto Care. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. He said, I'm an idol of yours. I do detailing too. I started my detailing because of you. This happened last night.
I got big tears.
And I was just like, wow. He said, I knew you had this contract because you posted the vehicles, but me actually seeing you out here, I had to turn around. Yeah. And I was like, hey, what's your name? And I don't even think I followed the young man. Yeah. But I'm like, that's what's up. Reach out to me. And we chatted for about 30 minutes. Okay. I poured a lot into him, but I was like, wow, that was pretty dope. You know what I mean? That is.
And that's that little support that you talked about in the beginning. Support. You don't know how that had, well, you know a little bit how you had been affected just off of seeing you. Yeah. But now that little 30-minute conversation could have did a lot for him.
And honestly, I could have recorded it, but you know how social media works.
Faking for the gram.
When you show too much, people like... But it's like, no, it was truly one of the moments like, wow, this dude, I inspired it. And I'm like, I'm humbled enough that you even turned around to come acknowledge me. You know what I mean? That I was proud of that.
Like here I am thinking you might want to wash, and you talking about
yeah. And he's like, I started my detailing business because of you. And then he went to his Instagram to show me, look who's in my search, and I was number one. And I'm like, okay, this is all right. Fanboy,
that's crazy.
But no, it was definitely a humble, proud moment last night to see that.
That's what's up. Yeah. Real quick, do you ever just think back about like, of course you're aspiring to get to a certain level, but do you ever just think back like, dang, like I was Mike Robb in high school, middle school, getting in fights.
Yep.
the problem child.
Problem child.
And now I'm here. Do you ever think about that?
I do. And what I hope, I hope that as a business owner, people that know me, you know what I mean, they won't know, but don't take me out of character, you know what I mean? I wasn't always a professional, you know what I mean? Professional guy. But no, I do think about that, K, now quite often. Like I was wild, not too wild, you know what I mean? But now look at me, you know what I mean? Look how I straightened up and really made something of myself. And I do want to tap into this too. I work for these $2 billion companies. I'm gonna get a little cocky with this. For 15 years, right? $2 billion companies, 15 years. I never seen six figures, and I bust my tail
all the time.
Never seen six figures. I jump out on a leap of faith and bet on myself. And now I'm over six figures with Passion Auto Care.
Yes.
So to be a little cocky and a little,
come on,
So to anybody that's striving, that's pursuing, keep going. Don't have a dollar amount, right?
Yeah.
Don't ever have a dollar amount. Just keep perfecting your craft, providing a great service. You'll hit those goals that you want to hit, and everybody got different goals, you know, but you'll hit them.
And that's the thing. It's so funny. I always tell people, and it's a well-known fact that like you working for somebody else, you'll never make your true worth. Like, you know, Kim was here. Kim is a girlfriend of mine and she's a HR director for NACI, but she gave us some good tips to like negotiate with your employer to get more of what you're worth on your 9 to 5. But there's an acknowledgement that you're never going to get your true worth on your 9 to 5. Right. And while entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, it is the way to go that if you ever really want to see your true worth, because there is no limit. And it's I think it's hard for some people to conceptualize the idea that there is no limit. Like, you mean I can make anything? Like literally, as hard as you work, you can make it. Like,
a dollar amount.
Because at the end of the day, you can do it.
You can do it.
Yes, and at the end of the day, Jeff Bezos was an entrepreneur. Yep. Like, he seems like $1 billion guy organization now, but he started as an entrepreneur.
Started in his garage.
Period.
In his garage.
And he's an extreme example. And there are so many examples between Zero and Jeff Bezos. Oh yeah. But that's the whole deal. That there is no limit. It's whatever you put into it. If you do the work.
If you do the work. But that's something. So I heard this years ago, but they kind of threw out this whole scenario of being a kid. We all have young kids, but if you ask any kid, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, what you want to be or what you want to do, their imaginations is unlimited. They're like, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. I want to dance. They want to do everything.
Professional basketball
player. Yeah. They want to do everything. But then they said every year that you get older, because society teaches you to think differently, those dreams become smaller and smaller. So as you get older, now when you think you graduated college at like what, 22, 23, and you think you should have that 6-figure job already, but because that's not the way it might work for you at that time, you only come out making 40, 50K. And you said, you said, well, I wanted to make 6 figures by 30. Yeah. So now that dream that you once had when you was a kid has basically got a lot smaller. And now you're like,
feels so far.
There's no way I can make 100K.
Yeah.
And then that's how you start becoming stagnant in your life.
Yeah.
And then those ideas and aspirations that you once had,
they're gone.
It's gone. And before you know it, you see your life.
Yeah.
Go on every year.
Yeah.
And we say that to say there's never a point at which there's no time like the present. So if you have an idea, if you have a passion, if you don't start working on it today, start doing research about it today. Yeah. You just never know where it's going to lead you.
Never know where it's going to lead you. Never know when the ball's going to get right.
30 is when we started.
30, yeah.
30 is when we started, okay? Yeah, so there's never 30 is when we started, and now we got a funeral home contract. We doing it, okay? We out here doing it.
Employees the whole nine.
Exactly.
And I got an apartment contract. But
come on.
Yeah, the funeral is where it's at though. But I do have an apartment contract.
That's what I'm talking about.
But the funeral contract.
Are you able to say which apartment that is?
Oh yeah, if y'all, it's it's a nice luxury apartment in Bowie called the Bone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm familiar with that because I think I have them on one of my lists of prospects to do some business.
And I can definitely tap you into the right person.
Yes, please.
Because
we'll
again,
talk.
Networking and actually just opening your mouth.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't have been able to get that contract had I not just
open your mouth.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'll see you cleaning your car. Yeah, I got my own business. That got the ball rolling.
That's it.
Business card exchange. Oh well, we can have you as a signature detailer. Here,
put your name out. Have people call you.
Give me a price list. Gave it to her. She put everything together.
There it is.
She did send the emails. It's on the customer doors. Everybody got it. You know what I mean? So it was one of them things. Just network.
Network.
Different ways to network, but sometimes just opening your mouth can, go a long way.
Networking, consistency, and a little bit of patience.
A little bit of patience. That patience, had I not had patience.
Yeah, that's hard.
Which y'all heard my story.
Yeah.
True story. You can ask my wife. I wouldn't be here to this day.
Okay.
All right.
So, real quick before we wrap things up, what's next for Passionato? Or Mike? Because it might be something totally out of the car detail industry.
So, one thing about Mike has 7 streams of income he definitely is focusing on, right?
Okay.
One
right
is
place.
Right place. One is on Kaylin's his back, actually. It's a clothing line I started in 2017. It says established 2017.
Okay.
Sanflacco.
Sanflacco. And Sanflacco stands for no skinny, English to Spanish translation, right?
Okay.
I don't want to get into the backdrop how I came up with it, but I wanted it to be a gym line, right? Do it big. Whatever you do it big, no skinny, right?
Right.
In the gym. But then I didn't know how certain people would take that. So you want me to be skinny, not fat? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went through that, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, maybe gym line is not. But Sanflacco simply means no skinny. Whatever you do in life, do it big.
Right.
Whatever it is. If it's your business, if it's your 9 to 5, if it's taking care of your kids,
Right.
if it's washing your car, just do it big. Sanflacco the brand, no skinny.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, so that's just one of my my avenues. And actually, I can't really focus on Sanflacco how I want. Takes all my time, but I have a book that I want to release.
Okay.
Book.
Yeah, I got a book.
Is it an autobiography?
Yeah, and it's going to tap into real quick. So before I got married, my mother told my wife that don't expect him to be anything more than a blue collar worker. And for me, when I heard it, right, it sounded so low.
Yeah.
I was like,
a
what
negative
is a
connotation.
I didn't know what a blue collar worker was.
Okay.
I had to look it up, and I'm like, oh, warehouse uniform type worker.
Yeah.
But what did my mother mean by that?
Right.
And she said, my wife was like, you're taking it the wrong way. She just meant don't expect you to wear a suit, tie at a corporate desk. You get your money
Another way.
Another way.
Yeah.
But I took it so like crushful. Like my mother just took a shot at me before I married you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I said, you know what? I'm glad she did because I'm going to start a book about that. And it's called Graduated from Blue Collar, the name of my book. And it's just going to tell, actually transitioning from a blue collar worker to an entrepreneur. And I'm glad my mother lit that little fuel. Now she cleared it up, what she meant. But for me, when I heard my wife tell the story, it sounded so low. Like I'm not good enough for her because I'm a blue collar worker. You know what I mean?
Funny is, before you cleared it up, our reaction to it was probably the same the way that you felt.
Because it has such a negative connotation, or that's how people perceive
That's how
it.
people perceive
blue collar worker in the workforce. They're like, oh, white collar versus blue collar.
Yep.
Which is crazy
Which
because
is crazy
I'm
when you
married
think
to
about
a blue collar worker, so why my reaction was what it was is crazy.
But when you heard it, it was like,
Yeah, it was like, well, what that mean?
what that mean?
Yeah, it felt very derogatory, if you will. like it felt like
I felt so
That's
low.
the way the world
I
been
felt so
pushing it,
low.
been
Yeah.
brainwashing us.
I
Exactly.
literally went on Google after my wife talked to me about it. She said, baby, you're taking it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like you provide, you hold your own. And I was looking at it as, because my wife has always been the breadwinner, right?
Okay.
Her degree definitely worked for her. Where she could punch a clock for 40 hours and make a great amount of money, great living. with that, right? And I just felt like my blue collar
Was
title
good.
was just here.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, I could never amount.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, I couldn't. You know, because I couldn't get over that hump. So I never would have caught my wife like matching her salary.
Trying to stay in the office.
Trying to stay. Look, working 100 hours a week, I couldn't have caught my wife.
Okay.
Right, with what I made. And that blue collar just felt so low, so degrading to me. And I said, I'm gonna use that and start a autobiography on graduating from a blue collar worker. You know, and again, just tell people that, hey, if you're a blue collar worker, if you're a Metro worker, if you're a Pepco worker, Comcast, whatever you do, warehouse worker, don't ever let that title define you and feel like, you know, you can't reach a certain goal.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder, I will say that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Pepco workers making 6 figures, right?
It's what they don't know.
They don't know that,
The
right?
people don't know,
These people
okay?
are living in nice houses. You know what I mean? Making a great living. But when you hear blue collar, it just sounds almost McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, he 40,000. Yeah.
Listen,
know.
as a quick story, my husband, like I said, he's an electrician. So we have a company truck parked in our yard. And oftentimes, like whenever I'm calling other people to the house to like do stuff, so whatever, if his truck is parked outside, they assume that I'm having like electrical work done on the house. Like, cause it's no way that the person who owns this house works at this electrical company. It's just not possible. And as a matter of fact, the first time we had a cleaning service come, my husband came home. So I was gone. I went to the grocery store. My husband came home, and the lady was like, "No, you can't be here while I'm here." He was like, I own this house. This is my house. You work for me.
I'm writing a check for you.
Exactly. So understood.
Yeah. And then again, that reaction when I said blue collar.
Yeah.
Oh,
we had the reaction.
Yeah.
So yeah, for Passion Auto Care though, 7 streams of income. I'm tapping into a lot of different avenues. Passion Auto Care is the breadwinner of my 7.
Okay.
But I got a lot coming out.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a lot.
Well, I would say like multiple streams of income, what people have to understand is they don't even have to be different. Like the fact that you have mobile detailing and then you have a funeral home contract and an apartment home, that's multiple streams inside the stream. People have to make it work. You know, like I was, a friend of mine is doing government contracts. I was like, you know, you do the government contracts, then you help other people find government contracts, then you rewrite some people's government. That's all different streams of income.
All different streams.
So.
So So for Passion Auto Care, we got a lot more coming, Kayla.
Okay.
I'm excited to see it.
I hope to talk and brag a little bit on it, you know, on y'all stream chase.
Okay. We'll have you back.
Love y'all show.
Yeah, because we also got some things coming.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I'm tired.
But all right. I think this was great. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Got some valuable gems from it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope people really tap into what we talked about.
Me too.
Yes, for sure.
On all angles.
For sure.
So you know what to do. Follow us on Instagram at stream.chasers, YouTube at stream chasers, and all your Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all of the places, and www.streamchasers.work because Stream Chasers do the work.
Yep.
And with that,
before we go,
yes,
Mike, where can we find you at?
Y'all can find me at Passion Auto Care LLC all together. It don't matter how you put it, all caps or lowercase. Passion Auto Care LLC on Instagram only right now, and my website is www.passionautocare.com. And you can book strictly from the website, see pricing and booking services.
Look at that. I like it.
Here we are.
All right, y'all heard it here.
And you just got paid.
Just got paid.